Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you're welcome. My name is Anita Handmade, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified each and every time I upload a new tutorials on my channel. If you're a member, you're welcome back. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you on how to draft a female pan pattern. This was a requested tutorial, so if you want to know how I go about it, keep on watching. First thing I will do is to go ahead and measure 3" downward like this, and I'm going to mark and connect. And when I'm done connecting that up, that line is going to be my waistline. I will measure from the waist to my crotch dip, which is 9". If you don't know how to get it, divide your hip by 4. Whatever you have, that's your crotch dip. Then I'll move down to the knee line. I will mark that up, which is 21". After doing so, I'm going to move now to the length of the pan, which I'm going to work with is 43". When I'm done doing so, I'm going to pull up my pattern so you see where I mark the length. This is the length. Here's the knee line, and here is the crotch dip line, and here is the waistline. When I'm done doing so, to get the hip dip line, you will go up from your crotch dip by 2". This is standard measurement for everyone. Mark and connect it up like this. Here is the hip dip line. When I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is I will take my hip measurement, which is round hip is 36. 36 divided by 4 will give me 9". I will mark that up and connect it up like so. I will take 1/4 of my hip, which is 9". Divide it by 4, which is 9 divided by 4 will give me 2.025. I'm going to mark it up here for the crotch extension. Then I'm going to go up by 2.025. Then I'll connect it up like so. When I'm done doing so, the next thing I will do is to come here to this top part. I'll put 1/4 of my waist. Round my waist is 26. 26 divided by 4 will give me 6.5. Then I'll be adding 1" for the dark allowance. Once I'm done doing so, I'll go ahead to connect it up like this. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to measure up whatever I have here. I will divide it by 2, okay, which is 11" divided by 2 will give me 5.5. Then I will mark it up at the center like this. See what I just did? Then I'm going to do the same thing like so, 5.5, and mark that up and mark it to the length as well. Now from the crotch dip, I will go down by 3". That's to get the thigh line. Next thing I'm going to do is to take round my thigh, which is 22. 22 divided by 2 will give me 11. 11 divided by 2 will give me 5.5. I will mark that up. Then I'll come here to my knee line. I will take round the knee and divide it by 2. So mine is 15. 15 divided by 2 will give me 7.5. 7.5 divided by 2 will give me 3.75. I'm going to mark that up like this. Then I will move down to my length. I will mark my ankle measurement. Round my ankle is 10". 10 divided by 2 will give me 5. 5 divided by 2 will give me 2.5. I will mark that up from that center line. From that center point, I mark. Once I'm done doing so, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be connecting all those points up. Sorry, I was a bit far from the camera at this point. Just connect those points up like so. Then I'm going to do the same thing right there. As you can see, connect it to that knee point where we mark. Then I will come here. I'm going to connect these points up like this, as you can see. See what I just did here? Then connect the side seams away. Then we'll go ahead now to connect that center line, just like this, all the way to the length. Once I'm done doing so, I'm going to pull this down so you can see what I'm doing here at this top part. I'll go ahead and connect the center line as well. You see? After doing so, I'll go ahead to create my dark of 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. I'm going to go down by 5 inch for the dark, like this, and I'm going to connect it up like so. Now, what I will do is to come here at this top part, like that 3 inch we did measure before. We're still going to be sure that it is what we have and just connect it up like so. This is for the high waist. If you want to make a high waist, you actually add 3 inch, or you take the hip measurement, divide it by 4. You will still get the same measurement that I got from here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'll be reducing my band from it, which is 2 inch. You can see what I just did here, but remember the band doesn't include any dark, so I'll go ahead to cut it up. Then I'll be folding up my dark, because at the waistband we don't need the dark allowance. After cutting this up, I will cut my band as well. Then I'll just fold it up like that. I'll go ahead now to level it up, the band. Okay, then now what I'll do is to go ahead, take another paper, place this front piece on top. We're going to be using this front to draft up the back. Once I'm done placing it on top, I will extend my crush by 2 inch. Once I'm done doing so, I'm going to go down by 1/2 inch. You see, extend your crush by 2 inch, go down by 1/2 inch, measure up whatever you have from here and divide that by 2. Whatever I have was 3, divide it by 2 will give me 1.5. I'll mark that up right there. After doing so, I'm going to go up by 2 inch. This depends on how booty you are, how fuller you are behind. Okay, I hope you guys understand me. Then I'll just go ahead, connect it up like so. When I'm done doing so, I'll just measure up whatever I have here, which is 8 inch. I'll transfer it up here. You can go ahead and just measure it up like that to get a guideline. My 8 inch, I'll just mark that up. Then at this point, I'm going to connect it up like so. Look at what I'm doing, how I'm connecting it like that. You see what I just did? Then I'll place up my curve ruler and connect it all the way to that hip deep line. You see what I just did? Now I will go ahead to measure up whatever I have there, which is 1 inch, and I'll be adding 1/2 inch to it. You see, I'll move all my pins. Now just go ahead and make some dotted points all the way to that point where we connect. You see what I just did? Then I'll take down my French scarf. I'm going to place it up and just connect it all the way to that 2 inch we went up, just like this. You see what I did here? After doing so, what I'll do is just to make sure everything is good and nice. Then I will take my ruler, just connect it up like so. Okay, like that. See, from that point, I'm connecting it up like this. Remember this pattern, I haven't added any sewing allowance, so I will have to do so when I'm cutting up on my fabric. Don't forget, I did not add any sewing allowance here, so make sure to add yours as well. Then the rest of the stuff is going to be the same. Look at what I'm just doing here. I'll just go ahead, follow up and trace it up all the way down to the length. Once I'm done doing so, I'll just go ahead and cut up the back piece. After cutting it, we are almost done with this pattern. All right, our back piece is done. Now I'll go ahead just to mark the knee line, then mark it, level it up the back. For the dark, I'm going to measure the center and go down by 5 inches like I did for the front. We have come to the end of this pattern. I hope you find it tutorial helpful. If you do, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, comment, and share. I hope to see you on my next DIY. Bye.